Oh, hey there, it's me, Pen, and on this Craft With Me episode of Paper Peculiar, I'm going to be taking this Amazon packaging envelope and turning it into a journal. If you've seen my other videos, you would have seen I use Amazon packaging, the stuffed kind, as a journal cover. Now, in my previous flip through, you saw I made a journal and I just put paper on the front. But this video is going to be slightly different. I had ordered swaths of, this is cotton fabric from Amazon, because I'm going to be making a collage board out of flat Amazon packaging, and then I'm going to use fabric to do binding. Flip. I'm going to make a flip, and I'm using the fabric as binding. I don't have a lot of extra material laying around because I'm a minimalist, and each spring and fall I go through my wardrobe and I donate what I haven't worn in at least a year. If I didn't wear it, it goes. So because I donate old clothing, I don't have material sitting around. So I had to order from Amazon swaths so I could have the strips to make, to use for the binding. It was actually relatively reasonable. There is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 swaths, and it was like, I don't know, $16 Canadian. And it came in this package. And I thought, oh, you know what? This is a lot of material. I'm not going to use all of this for the binding. I'm going to use the material to cover this packaging. And I've decided I'm going to make a massive chunky journal. My last Amazon packaging journal was pretty chunky, but this one's going to be even more so. Therefore, I'm going to take you along for the crafting experience. So I have to start with deciding which material I'm going to use for this project. Now, I washed these when I received them. They were actually quite stiff and crunchy, and I wanted it to be soft. It was cotton, so I knew it was going to be soft when I watch it. And then I matched up. So this one I thought goes with this one. So this would be perhaps an outside, and that would be an inside. But it's very springy. I'm not in the mood for doing a spring. Well, they're all kind of springy, aren't they? The colors. I'm going to, I match this one up with the polka dots. That matches really well. I think I may use this for my flip. I'm not sure which one yet. I think this is the one I'm going to use. I matched it up, roses, with little bows and lines. I think that would look nice. And then there was these two, which really didn't go together, but these two did. Look how well that went. This would be a cute journal too. But it's not what I'm going for. This is a summer, in my head, this is a summer perky. That would be a nice journal. But that's not what I have in mind. What I have in mind, this is just too off, weird. In fact, because they don't go with anything, these two don't really go together, but individually, these are probably good for my fabric binding flip journal. Yeah, I think I'll save it for those. I'll stick with these. And I'm going to I'll turn this journal using different elements into a rose themed journal. So I'm going to begin by gluing the fabric down. I've already trimmed. Well, oh, no, I haven't. It just opened really well. Wow. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it as is. Oh, here. I peeled it off there. And then I'm going to glue. This will be the inside. And this will be the outside. So the outside is going to be the roses, which look just perfect. Well, a little larger than perfect, but that'll be good. And then this will be on the inside. I'm just going to prepare my area so I don't get glue all over the place. This is the back of a cardboard, of a calendar, a desk calendar that it's from 2024. I have 2 of them, and there's more I could bring home from the office as well, but I didn't need that many. You can see I do stenciling on, I use this for stenciling and gluing, so I'm going to use this to protect. And so this is going to be my outside, this is my inside. So I've prepared glue. I have in this container, I have, it's some school white glue mixed with water, and I added a bit of tacky glue to make it a little stronger. Not that I don't trust cheapy white glue, but I don't trust cheapy white glue. I'm just going to smooth. I'm going to do little sections at a time to make sure there's no air. So I'm just going to paint. This is house painting brush because my crafting brushes are not big enough. It would have taken me forever to spread the glue if I used that. I'm just going to do one section at a time, making sure there's not too much glue. I'm going to be sewing the fabric after it dries, so I'm not too concerned if I miss, and yet here I am making sure I get every section, so I guess I am concerned. All right, there's one section done. I'm just gonna put my fabric down now. Make sure it's the right way. This way. Covered. I have space there, a lot of space there, which I'll cut off. Here. And am I seeing glue through? No. No. No, it's not looking wet. Oh, slightly. That's okay. All right. Seems to be sticking nicely. I'm going to do the bottom section down here. My paintbrush is picking up a little too much glue, but that's okay. Okay. And glue that. I can feel the glue coming through. All right. Now I'm going to do this half. Oh, that's not stuck down enough yet. Okay. Goodbye, Amazon logo. Thank you for your assistance. And smoothing it out, making sure I have no air bubbles, which honestly I can't guarantee there's no air bubbles. I'm hoping there isn't any. I can see where I put too much glue, it seeped through. And here, I'm okay with that. We'll see how it looks when it dries. Okay, that is the outside done. I'm going to flip it and do the inside now. There, it's at the edges. Nice. Now I'm going to do the inside, just half at a time. I know I did a quarter last time on the other side, just the top first. But I have more confidence now that the material is going to stick down well. I wasn't sure. All right. I think I got in all the grooves. And the bows. Making sure I have it all covered. Yeah. Okay. Looks like a pillow. Now my plan is, once it dries, here's the pocket side. I'm going to sew after I trim the material, or before I trim. Not sure yet. I'm going to sew along the perimeter, sew the material down along here, all the way up in here, and I'll do a few stitches around. And then I'll take the arm, I'll have the arm of my sewing machine, and I'll sew it, making sure the pocket stays open. I may have difficulty getting in the corners, but I'll figure it out. It's pretty flexible, this Amazon packaging, so I might be able to get it that way into the sewing machine. Okay, the second half, I'm going to glue now. I have to make sure I don't get glue. Oh, I did. I got it in. I'm going to have to lift that out so it doesn't glue the pocket shut. No. Of a cloth, a wet cloth. Just going to wipe that. All right. I'll wipe it again after I glue this down. Smooth it down. Oh, I got some wet. We'll have to see how that dries. Now, I am planning on doing quite a lot on the inside. So even if this glue does show through after it dries. It won't be seen because in my alleged mind, I'll have a flip here on this side, and then signatures in the middle here, and then a flip folios on either side. Okay. Oh, I see some air there. Pull, smoosh it. Okay. Now that I have these glued down, just a bit of a wrinkling there. Not horrible though, not too many wrinkles. Not too many wrinkles considering it's a padded envelope I just covered and not plain flat paper. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry. I'll sew around and I'll be back. And I'm back. Not only is my material dry, as you can see, I've already completed sewing as well. So what I did was, first of all, you can see that contrary to my fears, the glue is not showing through. It is smooth and no air and a little crunchy, but the material itself isn't crunchy, it's just the packaging. But it turned out really nice. And what I did was I sewed all around using two different threads. I used a gold thread, which I zigzagged, and then I switched to a white thread where I think I did even two white thread run through. So I did a straight stitch, and then I did it's not a zigzag, it's almost like a heartbeat offset kind of stitch. Now, if you recall, I had mentioned I might cut off the excess, but rather than do that, I folded it over and used it like a hem. I made a hem there and on the inside. Now, I don't think I want to make this stronger. If things are going to be coming in and out and in and out, I want to make sure these are stronger. So I might do some lace, or when I'm deciding what to do for the closure, if maybe instead of doing a tie, I'll extend this side here or in a point, because in a point, and I'll tie, and that way I'll use extra packaging and some more material, and I'll put it around there, making this stronger. So as you can see, I did a fold up and I sewed the fold, making a pocket, and it's very strong, very sturdy, feels fabulous. But one thing you may have noticed is that. So in working with this rose theme, in my Amazon feed, this Stamperia House of Roses came up for sale. Not just for sale, but on sale. Now, I normally don't use scrapbooking books or themes for my junk journals, but rather I do use scrapbooking for folios. So one of my flip throughs you'll have seen, it was a supplemental video, was a folio I had generated using a theme, not a Stamperia theme, but a different scrapbooking book theme. Also, when I go to, I don't seek out scrapbooking paper, but when I go to thrifting or liquidation stores and I see the pads on sale, I do purchase them. I have a folio I made of, it has lobsters and seashells. It's a nautical theme, which was in a paper pack I got from the liquidation store. I also have I used file folders to create a stack of folios. It's like a folio in a folio in a folio. Like the Russian doll of folios, using astrological, a very nice astrological theme. So I do use scrapbooking paper, just not normally with junk journals. But in this case, I thought I'm going to use it. I used one of the pages has this as a title. I cut it out and I inked it. Actually, I didn't cut, did I? I ripped. You can see I ripped it around and I sewed it around and decided I'm going to use this paper with this journal. Now, along the lines, there were some really pretty pages. You can see these are samples of the pages that are inside. It was this page, these flowers that inspired me to come up, design and come up with this folio. Now, originally, when we were discussing this cover, the Amazon cover, before sewing it all down, I was saying, oh, I'm going to do this massive journal and maybe I'll do a flip out this way and a flip out that way. And what I decided was one of the flip outs is going to be this folio. Now, it's going to be a no spine folio. That way, it will be able to open flat. Now, I'm not going to use paper clips, obviously. This is just my template that I have proposed to myself. And I scribbled in a pocket here, a pocket there, a cutout here, a cutout there. But what it's going to be is pages. This will be a page, and this will be a page, and then they will be sewn together in such a way that there's going to be a center pocket. And the next page, the same thing, a pocket, the next page, a pocket, and they'll be sewn without binding the back, which will give me flexibility to perhaps put it on one edge as with a piece of material as the binding as a flip out, or I can make an insert, or it can go into the pocket like that. I'll have to see what I wish to do. I just want to point out, though, this paper that I've used to make this template, my husband frequents an auction site, and he's always, this auction site is not of any one thing in particular. So there's crafting paper or underwear or tools or a bed. I mean, there's just whatever is on this auction site. And he came across a pad of this brown. It's about 3 times the size of this. I cut this down. It's huge, huge paper. And I have a stack of it because he got it for really cheap. He won the auction for really cheap craft paper. It could also be used for packaging, I suppose. But you'll be seeing a lot in future videos. Anyway, I use that to come up with my proposed template. These are the measurements I've decided I want to use to give this shape. And I'll see if it's going to be a separate, completely separate folio, or if I plan on using it for this journal. I also plan on making a whole bunch of different page elements to go into this journal, because my thought is it is a very large cover and the spine will be, so that is, my spine is going to be approximately 3 inches. Let's see what my You can see I've been fiddling with the shape to get an approximate distance. Yeah, 3 inches, which will get me, I can fit in with nice spacing 4 signatures of, I'll have to see, depending on the elements I add to my signatures. It will afford being stretched out. Now it'll probably start out this thin, but once I start filling it, it'll afford, I mean, it could just keep going and going and going because it is soft. So it will still, I'm still planning on making it the big chunky journal that I want. If you want to see future videos of me doing individual elements, page elements for this journal, just comment below and let me know, and I'll be happy to film them. But I thank you for joining me on this Amazon soft cover material crafting journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.